let's take a look at the latest Mattel Creations arrival. Let's look at Hurricane Hordak. Full confession, I'm happy about having this guy, but I have recently decided that I have to start to focus my collecting habits when it comes to MOTU Origin stuff, just because of the lack of focus that Mattel is now exercising with what they put out next. I'm finally being worn down and getting a little bit exhausted with every variation of every figure that is based on some sort of concept art that someone found in a drawer, or whatever fleeting or passing creative idea somebody has, creative or not creative idea. They're green lighting everything and they're putting everything out. The Snake Men is just, I'm just done with the filler kind of light padding that the MOTU line is starting to be made up mostly of. Yeah, we got Modulok recently and we have this guy, but there's so much nonsense in between that I have to kind of like raise my hand and go, okay, like enough is enough. Let's see if I have the kind of conviction or resolve to stick to my guns with that. But what I'm deciding is that I'm only picking up MOTU Origins figures moving forward if it is something we had back in the day. So of course Hurricane Hordak is somebody, this is a figure that kind of deserves to be in my collection, but none of this other stuff they're putting out, again with the Snake Men, I don't even really like most of the cartoon collection. I just feel like there's just very little or no discretion with whoever's making decisions as to what figures come out. Probably because a lot of people, like myself, have just been buying it all. So I'm going to try to say no more of that and just kind of hone in on certain figures. Okay, now that I got that off my chest, let's take a look at the collector's edition of Hurricane Hordak. Robot arm spins, interchangeable weapons. Okay, there is some nice box art. The box art has consistently been nice on these figures, so I'm happy with that. We got some nondescript monsters there. Nice image of Hordak with that alternate face. All right, let's get this guy out of the packaging. All right, and even before we attach his forearm that allows for the spinning weapons, he's a pretty presentable figure in his sort of like basic two-hand mode here. Let's talk about him. All right, so he comes with this mini comic, Eye of the Storm. He comes with this alternate head sculpt, which is, I believe, based on some early concept art. And that speaks a little bit more to one of my one of the things that's tiring me out of the Origins line is I guess it's cool that they add this stuff. Some people might really like that, and with a few pieces like the Masterverse, like I think his name was Vicor, there are certain figures they've given us based on concept art that I think it's really nice just for kind of pinpointing kind of the evolution of the look and feel of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, but I do think it goes a bit far. Anyway, here this guy is. I don't think I'll ever be using this. He comes with, this is his alternate forearm piece that's got the mechanism built in, and 3 weapons. He's got this spinning kind of bola thing, just a big violent fan, and another kind of spinning blade weapon with a little bit more detail picked out. Almost looks like it's living blades with like veins. All right, let's take a closer look at him. The face is very acceptable. This is what he should look like. This is what my Hordak looks like. I love the chromed out torso. armor. I do have some specks of red paint on mine. That's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I'm also getting used to a little bit of sloppiness with the construction and the paintwork on some of these figures. Other than that, he looks pretty good. That's nice. Picked out on his arm strap. Winged something or others. The Horde symbol. He looks good. And for comparison, I do have my vintage Hurricane Hordak. He's pretty beat up, but he's, I think still worthy of comparison. The vintage has this arm in this molded straight position. I don't have any of the attachments, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was really hopeful for a split second that these attachments for the Origins one would fit on the vintage, but they do not. Dare I say that's one of the things that this might be something that the Origins line actually, well, it did better than the vintage. The arm being interchangeable and having a hand. With Hurricane Hordak, the vintage one, if you lost the spinning pieces, which I think a lot of us did back in the day, then he just has this arm. I guess you could pretend it's a cannon in and of itself, but that's pretty much all you can do. So there they are, together. All right, let's add some of the attachments to the Origins one. All right, so here he is with his first weapon attached. It's a small thing, but I know some people care about this. The whole forearm of Hordak doesn't pop off, just the hand, like all the other Origins figures. So when this is attached, it's not a seamless thing. It is kind of open on the end there, and it gives a little bit, but again, it's secure. And the forearm kind of contraption here does have a spinning little dial that works as well as it should. It's very satisfying. His arm is a fidget spinner. I feel like it's been a while since I can say I'm satisfied with something Origins has given us. But Hurricane Hordak is definitely one I'm satisfied with. And that is just a quick look at Hurricane Hordak.